Okay, today we're working on iPad Mini 2 where the Digitiser connector has been mauled. As you can see, I don't know what went on, but it got sent to us, so let's sort it. So primarily I don't, on these, I'll be honest with you, I don't take the board out of the housing. I'll just leave it where it is, just make sure the battery is disconnected. I'll remove this sticker and then just crack on with it. So first and foremost, I'd like to fill it with some flux and try and dilute all the solder with my low melt solder. So we'll get some on all the connectors, on all the connections on either side, even down the middle because it'll run down with the heat. Because this is just the first step. The second step is really the heat gun. The hot air station is what I'll be using primarily to take it off alongside the soldering iron. This just helps massively because if we can get the temperature down on all these pins and the anchors, we can get them to flow nice and not disturb any of the surrounding components, which is always ideal. So as you see, now that I've got the area covered in the low melt, I can use my hot air, which I think is set to 270, and then using the soldering iron to just help get that solder to flow. And then within no time we can get rid of the old one. So then I like to give it a good clean. Sorry, my OCD obviously got the better of me on this one. I don't like to give work back covered in flux. Just looks unprofessional in my opinion. So now what I'll do, I'll want nice fluffy pads. I did actually go back over and put a bit more leaded solder on all them little pads, but for some reason I missed recording that. But even if there is some pads that are missing solder, it's not a great big deal because we do go back at the end and touch all of them up anyway. So now that we're wanting to sit it down, my heat gun is now at 300, but again, just work your way up. If you're, because obviously mine's not calibrated, it might be 300, I don't know. Yours might not be 300, just do whatever works for you until you start to see the connector pins, your low melt solder melting, like mine's starting to melt now, so it'll sit nicely into place. And as long as it is totally flat on the board, you'll be absolutely fine. So all my pins are fully connected anyway, but regardless, what I like to do is go back and just put a bit more solder on all of the pins. For this, I'll just have some solder on the tip of my iron, and I'll have the heat gun still blowing a little steady 250 degrees at the connector. It'll just make it so much easier to help everything flow nice. I'm very happy that all the connectors have got more than enough solder on them, so can continue. Just give it a good clean. Obviously make sure you clean inside the connector as well, get rid of as much residue as possible. And then put your little sticker back on. I tested it and it was fine. Hope this video helps any of you. If it does, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.